live stream in a while. Let me get this thing shared out. I can't figure out how to, oh, here we go. They changed everything. Back, and we're gonna do this. Copy link, and then go to Facebook. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, guys, hi. What's going on? So Tuesday night was the finale of Skeleton Crew, and I thought it was fantastic, even though we didn't get all the payoffs we expected. But I think I kind of know why. Let's put it this way. At the end, when you see what I guess is a Carillion Corvette, aka looks like the Tantive 4, it comes in very dramatically. The music told you there was somebody on board that you want to see, and then we didn't get a payoff. The show just stopped. And the discussion, at least from, I brought it up, Cameron brought it up, Jason Hunt at Sci-Fi for You TV brought it up. A lot of people brought it up that the end was cut short. Okay, now I expected a cameo from Luke or Leia, maybe Han, but then I would expect to see the Millennium Falcon show up and take care of the pirates. But you know, it was kind of like, well, and it's obvious something happened. It's obvious that they wanted to cut it short for a reason, and the reason I have is, thanks Cross. I have is I think with Kennedy about to walk out the door. I think they were cautioned not to get too bold with OG characters showing up. Because look, she had a complete meltdown when Luke showed up during episode 16 of The Mandalorian. So I think they just decided they didn't want, and to use the characters on the TV shows at least sparingly. Okay, which is, I think, a good idea. But I think it was probably a cameo by one of the big three. You know, if Han showed up, you'd probably see the Falcon, but maybe he's on that cruiser with Leia, all right, that Corvette with Leia, you know, maybe Luke is too. You know, kids, are going, no, it says he's we thought he was a Jedi. And I was like, Han's like, you want to meet a Jedi? Looks at Leia, I know a Jedi. Luke comes out. Okay, that would be a really cool thing. But, that's the one payoff we didn't get. The one we did was one I kind of sniffed out, that now was at least a foundling by a Jedi on the run. And she told him he had potential and taught him a lot of stuff. He was captured by probably the Inquisitors, and she was murdered in front of him. Like the only human being that was ever nice to him. So he's got that sort of mysterious background of a Han Solo, but he doesn't have the heart, all right? He doesn't have the soul, okay? It's been rendered out of him by all the bad that he's witnessed. So, and he's not dead. He's still in the supervisor's office. He's just stands there watching, the pirate ship go down in flames because the X-Wings. And there you go. Now, the supervisor was a droid or a computer program or something. And I saw some, angry black pill blob bitch, bitching about how Nawood got rid of the supervisor. He stuck the lightsaber through its, you know, through the through its eye, and bitching about that. Like, and I'm like, who else would you fucking get rid of it? You know, especially since the supervisor already knew Nawood was full of shit. And I think the reason why is because the actual Republic emissary was coming. Okay, and that's who was on the Carillion Corvette. So there you go. So do I think we're going to see these guys? I think there's a good possibility of a season 2. With the kids being kids. Children change a lot between the age of, 10 and 15. The kid that plays Wim won't look like that anymore. Fern will change. KB will change. Neil will change. So you might want to do a time jump. I don't know, but with such a positive vibe coming from the audience, a 91 Rotten Tomatoes score, and it's not woke. I really think that the people who saying stupid shit about it haven't seen it. At least I can say I watched Andor, and I call it Anbor for a reason, because it's boring as fuck. And it's woke. There you go. It's gonna be interesting what they choose. Now, Sparrow called Cameron and said that they're looking at animation for Rangers of the New Republic. Will Gina come back for that? Will they cast another voice actor for Cara Dune while they go through the stupid idiocy of the lawsuit? I think Cameron's right that they will settle. They have to. The fan-wide opinion that she hasn't made any noise about wanting to settle. She's not going to. She doesn't have to. She's in the driver's seat. Okay. And since they're in Discovery, we'll see just what happens. Okay. A lot of people on the other side don't realize that Elon Musk hired for her a great attorney. Okay. This is a law office that has argued cases in front of the Supreme Court. Okay, they are seasoned Washington, D.C. attorneys, and they're gunslingers. Okay, you want to know what an asshole looks like? Find one of those attorneys. Okay, and so I think that it'll get to the point where either something breaks from the depositions or Discovery, and Disney has to make a deal. Okay, now Disney's lawyers, Dan Petrocelli, who basically won the wrongful death case against O.J. Simpson for Ron Goldman's family, is the Disney attorney. And he thinks he's going to win. And so do the attorneys for Lucasfilm. And it's like, no, you have no leg to stand on. They violated her First Amendment rights. They violated, I think, the 14th Amendment. All right, amongst others. So, they don't have a leg to stand on. The fact that the judge is curious to find out what happened tells me a lot about the judge. All right. So there we go. So we've got the possibility of that. We have the possibility of an animated show emphasizing the Knights of the Old Republic and Revan being talked about, which would be phenomenal. We've got more tales of Star Wars stuff, which is kind of tie up loose ends and everything. There's a lot going on here. So they're looking at animation, and I think the reason why is because the streaming shows have cost so much. And we're talking about, let's say, like, they were allowed the opportunity to have one or all three of the big three walk off that Corvette to meet the leadership of Ed Atten. Do you recast or do you deep fake? Is it cheaper to deep fake than it is to recast? I've been told it's cheaper to recast. Here's my problem with this. We have learned you can't just cast anybody as Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia. Okay, you just can't. Through the awful casting of awful Aaron Yuck as Han Solo. I have never in my life been so horrified as I was when I saw that guy. And I blame Mazurs for this, daring me when I was drinking wine to watch Solo: A Soy War Story. So I sat down with a glass of wine and I watched it. And it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It was just as bad as The Last Jedi. Okay, and let me tell you something. All you people who are trying to say, well, The Last Jedi killed Solo. If Solo had been good, it wouldn't have killed it. But the moment we saw the trailer and we saw awful Aaron Yuck, it was an abomination. Okay, nothing to do with The Last Jedi. Everything to do with how bad the trailer was, how bad Aaron Reich looked, it was just bad. The whole thing was just bad. And then when you watch it, you're just like, that's supposed to be Han? So the problem is casting, because it has to be done right. You can't just cast we wanted a different vibe. Kathy's reasoning, Pablo Hidalgo's reasoning. It's like, he's a cuck. He's an effeminate little cuck. All right? We don't like him. We didn't want him. I mean, you fucked up. Casting is everything in this. And then there's story. Okay? You've got to approximate the actors who played the characters before. Anthony Ingruber as Han Solo, Millie Bobby Brown as Leia, and, one of the actors that played Luke under the CGI deepfake in Mando or Boba Fett. Okay. I think that would work because people have it in their minds who these people are, and it's body language, it's height, it's attitude, it's voice cadence. Okay, Alden Ehrenreich sounds like his balls haven't dropped. Okay, he just sounds immature and childish. Carrie Fisher had a cadence to her voice. Mark Hamill is not tall. And he didn't look like a Neanderthal, okay, which Sebastian Stan does. So there you go, all right? You have to do it the right way. So, casting, you really got to be careful, and I think Jon Favreau would be. That's just the way it is. So we've got a lot of stuff to look forward to, I think. Yes, I am going to watch Ambor season 2 because it's the only thing coming out that's as interesting. Star Wars Celebration will be in Tokyo. I have a feeling if Chris Gore is right, I have a feeling Kennedy will be there to announce her retirement. She's getting the governor's award from the Cinematographers Association, which is another tribute Viking funeral thing, and so there's that. And really, that's all that's all we got going. That's it. I mean, there's nothing bad going on. You know, I heard WDW Pro threatened to make a Star Wars channel. Because what? Cameron's still a threat to him? Or maybe a Latino slant, Polly didn't listen to him? Look, I'm going to say something, it's going to be mean, but don't go to those channels like That Park Place, Pros, Valiant Renegade, you name it. The reason why, they're grifters. They're not going to tell you the truth. All right, they're not fans at all of what, we're concerned about. They just make money and they lie to people. There you go. What else is going on? So we're going to get really cold here the next few days. It's going to be, one day it's going to be 0, the low is. The next day it's going to be 2 below. It's going to get really, really, really cold in Washington, D.C. And they've decided to pull the inauguration into the Capitol building like they did when President Reagan did his second inauguration. It was inside the Capitol building, and they basically did a band concert for all the kids that were coming in to do the parade, the high schools from all across the country. They went to a high school and they let the bands play there for the president. So, maybe they'll do something like that. But there you go. The balls will go on. I've got a BFF that is going, hopefully, to the American Ball, but she's got tickets to the Liberty Ball. Okay, but hopefully they'll get invited to go to the American Ball because that's the official one. And they'll be with the big dogs. What else is going on? Ceasefire in Gaza. Arson pretty much is to blame for the fires in California. There you go. Non-Star Wars news, but there. But, all right, here's something that's interesting. Donald Trump has made John Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone ambassadors to Hollywood because basically, if you look at what's going on there, the film industry is they're in a depression, and I'm not talking about a dip. I mean, they're in a depression. Okay, and he's offering help to get them out of it, and I'm like, cool, fine, whatever, we're good with that. You see DEI offices closing. The FBI is closing theirs. You see car companies doing the same thing, beer companies, and look, I think the DEI offices across the Walt Disney Company will probably exist only as busy work, all right? Because they don't add anything to the work of making movies, okay? They are a hindrance to creativity, all right? Talked about this before. If you're a newbie, I'm going to give you a little bit of do some educating here. Film is the only genre of art, medium of art, that encompasses play acting, performance art, photography, paint, the written word, plays, composition, amongst other things. And it's probably the greatest form of art that humanity has ever come across. And it can be used for good or evil. And when you stop creating just to make a statement, I gotta get out of the sun, you ruin what you're doing. You cease making movies and you've made a propaganda film, which is what The Acolyte was, propaganda. And that is not good. That's what The Last Jedi was. It looked pretty, but it was still lipstick on a pig because, they didn't tell the story. And George Lucas has always said, the thing that matters is the story. Okay, the thing that matters. And that's what I think we have to go on here when we talk about making film. There are too many people in Hollywood that don't have the experience that they need to write movies. They were hired not because they're talented. They were hired because of their skin color, their sexual preference, etc. And that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to tell a good story or do well in front of the camera, all right? Or do well in directing, okay? And that just, and it probably took jobs away from people who were qualified, who were up for the jobs they were up for, but they were white males or, black males or straight white or black males or straight Asian males. Okay. You're violating the 14th Amendment. Equal protection under the law. Okay. Which is why DEI has to go. Which is why I think every DEI office, from Disney and all its studios to Warner Brothers, Paramount, Columbia, Sony, needs to be closed. Okay, this would be me if I ran Lucasfilm. If you want to work for me, I don't want to hear one word about who you sleep with. I don't want to know what your politics are or anything. You understand? To an actress or actor. If you pop off about politics, which you know nothing about, and the fans hear that, you'll turn a lot of our audience off, and they won't go to see the movie we're working on. The only thing that matters is the movie and to make it successful. And look, I'll give you an example. Rachel Zegler, shut the fuck up. All right. Snow White was already going to be a woke piece of shit. And then she had to go, rah, piss off Gal Gadot, chase away the fans with her feminist bullshit. And, the show's going to die. It is going to fail miserably. And part of the reason is because of her. First off, no one wanted a live-action Snow White anyway. And didn't want her to play her if they were going to do that. And then she had to go and make an ass of herself about things she knows nothing about. Okay. And, the show is already on tenuous ground anyway because of the crap we saw magical little beings. What the fuck? Okay. They did use little people, and there are a lot of actors and actresses that are little people that could have been in that movie, right? But they said no, because they didn't want to look like they were being prejudiced against little people by not giving little people jobs. Try to put the logic there, okay? Anyway, so yeah, I mean, Hollywood needs to get away from the politics, and they need to get away from the Rachel Ziegler's, and Rachel Ziegler's in the world need to shut the fuck up. Anyway, hi, Cross. Oh yeah, yeah, Cross is right. I mean, he's right there. They could have hired a young, teenage actress to play the role of Snow White, who could actually act, who actually looked the role. I mean, Snow White is German fairy tale, right? German fairy tale. So then the only reason why they cast Ziegler is because of DEI. She's a diversity hire. All right. Anyway, I gotta go. Latino Slant, Paulie's gonna have Cameron on. So I'm going to be there in the chat. And if you guys want to jump over to Latino Slant, be my guest, I'll be there in the chat. And we'll, see what's going on. All right. And so I just wanted to do a short live because I haven't done live in a while. I'm going to get back to doing these a few times a week just because. Okay, Cross, that'll be great. And, I'll see you guys around the galaxy. Behave, be safe. And talk to you guys later. See you around the galaxy.